Oh, Coupe! Oh, me? Declare war? Ha 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 ha! Look at the big civ leader over there with the war declaration. Yeah, I am a big civ leader. Thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate it. Coupe is at war with France already, which means we've actually gained a bit of an ally here. And I reckon we can get Cree involved. No, Cree doesn't want to be involved. Boo! You're just boring. Never mind. In comes my units. Why is this tile got all of this random culture? Oh, it's the preserve, isn't it? It's the preserve. Never mind. We figured it out. Let's move all of my units in. We will get ourselves very quickly into a position of grand pillage. We want to make sure that we have removed all combat strength possible from the city. Yes, I don't have the raid card in at this precise moment, but it will appear. Don't worry. Okay, armies arrived. We're on -4 gold per turn, but don't worry. We're stealing. We're pillaging. We're doing all of the grand, beautiful things. Capital is stronger. 51 strength is definitely worse, but they're doing 16 damage to my swordsman. It's not really that bad because we've got +6 on intel on opponent's movements. That's useful. We've got oligarchy. We've got the general working. Preserve has been demolished. All of my units have now run in. We have our medic on top of this swordsman who's going to fortify, and he should actually heal most of the damage dealt last turn. I'm not going to move my catapults in range of that encampment. It might be a little bit reckless, but do you see how the walls have little gaps in them and the towers have appeared? That means they're currently building medieval walls. There's only ancient in this city at the moment. So I'm just going to give it a tiny love tap by removing some of the fortification health. Now that medieval wall cannot be finished until the walls have healed. Just a fun and quite useful little tip for you there. My other units just wait for a second. I'm going to get the catapults and the swordsmen to deal all the damage here. And now we have our trade route available again. Let's put the trading post down on this French city over in that direction. Now we have a little bit of diplomatic visibility over France. Lovely. So the knight killed a warrior. The swordsman just tanked a couple of hits again and then healed. How much did it heal? 25 health with the medic. Really cool. And in come the catapults attacking at 46 strength. They will upgrade to trebuchets in a second, so we won't have quite as weak units against the next city. But look at that. That is a lot stronger. In fact, we can go for a swordsman attack to pretty much remove the walls and then go 1, 2, 3, and then knight kill for 4. Yes. Keep the city. Thank you. First city taken. And now let's attack Coupe's other city. Let's see how Coupe reacts. Keeping the city with loyalty may prove really tricky, so we might see the city flip away from me. But that's not the worst thing, because it means we'll be able to pillage all this farmland and heal my units that way, so might let them do that. If we have a look at their capital, you can see that +6 of that defensive strength is from districts. So we got to do a little bit of pillaging here. Trebuchet number 1, trebuchet number 2, and heal all of these units for just a single turn because I have my delicious medic here. In go the trebuchets and start dealing damage to this city. I'm going to give up on this city behind. Don't worry, if we take both of Coupe's cities in this area, the loyalty will work itself out eventually, and there's enough food here to sort itself out. I'm not too worried, especially with the Cree feeding me chocolate. Delicious. Oh, I wouldn't mind though if you just stop dealing damage to my swordsman like that. 10 yield on that river. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, this city flips. Don't worry about that. Look, it doesn't even have walls. Trebuchet says 1 attack. Trebuchet says 2 attack. Force is going to just block the trebuchets from being hit by these swordsmen. Pillage time. Yes. Now we move on to this district and we'll go pillage time 1, pillage time 2. Condemn a heretic because we can, to be absolutely honest with you. No real reason to be doing that. We just don't like heretics. We really don't like heretics. Oh, here comes Coupe's fleet. I mean, you're not going to do very well against me here. Golden Age. Coupe is in a dark age. France is in a dark age as well. We should be really, really happy now. I haven't stolen any commercial hubs or harbors, and I haven't built any myself. I will want traders eventually, but I'm just thinking 3 inquiry might not be the best route for me. I've got nothing to use my faith on, so maybe monumentality here might be a good option for me. Let me just pump out a couple of builders and improve my lands. Yeah, let's do that. We will pillage and then send the faith back home in order to then do some really cool stuff. Here we go, like this. Although, do we want to actually make sure we pick up some niter, maybe? Settle some more cities? No, let's make sure all of our cities are fully improved and the economy is running one step at a time, Ursa. As currency, we've pillaged this city down over 10 strength now, which is pretty cool. Voting time. Can I have culture bombs, please? Oh, thank you. And I would like it if we could trade with cultural city-states, seeing as they are everywhere. Trade city-states. Oh, at least we got culture bombs. Muscat, Cahokia. We just met 2 new city-states just randomly. Mass production boosted. Lumber mills are pretty much the only thing thing that I can build right now that's giving me any production, because apart from Eltruand, I have no production in my empire still. This has been the weirdest run. Mongolia, but with no ability to make units whatsoever. So very, very strange. I'm going to join my aid request just because I can. Yay, I'm involved. And there's my Kashig. It's a unique unit. It's very, very fast. It can do a little ranged attack. It's 45 strength. I love it dearly. Just think about it as a better crossbow that's faster. Can I remove the walls of Kupe's capital? Yes. Right, that's knocked the city strength down by 6 now. It also means that my other units can attack the city without taking any substantial damage in retaliation. So next turn we should be able to take this city. Gonna start dealing some damage to the other city so that I can take both at the same time now. Open borders. Can I have it please, France? I want to investigate around your land. I need to know where everything is. In fact, I'll go and send the scouter. And not that I'm going to send a trade route and start really diplomatically investigating things. I would never do such a thing. Never. Apprenticeship. Okay, all of the mines I do have are now +1 production. That's very handy. Can we get irrigation? Somehow I missed it. And I still don't have this luxury in, which is ridiculous. Second, Kashig. Can you escort El Cid, please? If I can get the kill with the knight, that will be a good boost for later in the game. Excellent. I think I may have already had the boost. I was getting excited for nothing. Never mind. Trebuchet 1, Trebuchet 2, swordsman in, city taken. And there we go. 2 new cities, very safely and carefully held, just like they should be. Oh, there's going to be an awful lot to fix. So can we just get on that? Thank you. Yeah, don't ask about why everything's burning. I don't know why it's all burning. There's some reason for it, but I couldn't possibly explain it. Oh, I tell you what, I've got some worthy prisoners. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Channel supporters that can look after these cities for me, and they are Helicopter Kicker and Cartesian. Ignore the flames, ignore the burning. I'm sure these cities are wonderful. They're lovely, really. They just have a reputation for being on fire, but they're not on fire, really. France didn't like that. What? Oh, what did I possibly do wrong? Good thing about having this medic is I can just put them in a little ring around all of my units and make sure they're all delightfully healed whilst I go for the next target. So, France, this city, the city that once formerly Coupe owned, that's the one with my trading post. So that's the one I don't necessarily want to attack. I'm actually trying to work out here. Would it be better for me to take over a couple of city-states first? That would give me a better route into France. I mean, France have only got 146 military strength at the moment. Not the worst thing in the world. 3 gold per turn. Can I just take your luxuries, please? Oh yeah, because it's a peace deal, and Coupe really wants peace. The 40 gold, I can actually take all the luxuries that he would never normally sell because he's only got 1 copy of them. Haha! Oh, amazing. And I get to keep these cities as well. Well, Coupe, all I've done is I've increased the rate of which you're going to go and journey, right? You have a whole world out there. Go and find it. Don't allow yourself to be contained and controlled on the original continent. I am doing you a favor. This is what this is. Ignore the screaming. Why is it that so much of my advice in Civ starts with the phrase ignore the screaming? Have I got a problem? I don't think I've got a problem, but yeah, don't think about that too hard. I think we're going to attack and kill Caguana. Now, this may trigger an emergency with people, but then I'm not declaring the grievances on them, you know? So maybe that will end up being a good thing in the long run. I'm just going to do some more exploration around France's lands right now. I need to know where all their cities are. I need to be able to put in some really handy and really reliable trading posts that aren't going to be lost. Ruin might actually flip to me if I get the loyalty of these cities up a little bit. This is the good thing about being in a golden age when they're in a dark age. I kind of want to strike when the iron is hot on such things. I'm also going to just push the monuments up the repair queue a little bit. The quicker we get feudalism, the quicker we get feudal contract, and that'll let us get man-at-arms as well as our Kashigs faster, because the Kashigs count as ranged units. So it's feudal contract that boosts them. It's a little bit weird, that one. I just had a bit of a rumor as well that France just used a knight to clear something. So remember, France has knights. You know what? I will sell horses to Coupe. I don't even mind if those horses get used against me. Feeling confident. Yeah, this city-state is very important. 2 sources of iron, a geothermal fissure, and some niter. I don't think I can allow this city-state to exist on a separate basis. Let's take this over. Let's conquer it. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. Here's Cree. Cree is just behind. Good to know. Why has this tile got culture on it? Oh, they've built Chichen Itza, haven't they? I think that's one. Megawatt with 3 food and 3 production. Wow. Okay, this is something we've got to keep an eye out for. I've played Deity++ enough to know that the game can be incredibly difficult, but Cree, for whatever reason, with this level of difficulty, the AI just handles them really, really, really well. We should expect a very powerful and very stern test from Cree. Do not be surprised if they are horrifically powerful. Let's start the war on the city-state. Yes, it's going to generate quite a few grievances with France, but they've already denounced me. So what's the worst that's going to happen? They denounced me a second time? Ha ha ha. I think not. Main thing these units are going to do is just run in and do a lot of pillaging. Staging post. That's what this is. A staging post to attack France with more force, with more ferocity. City center did 15 damage to my Kashig. That is what I was hoping. City-states often do a very small amount of damage in ranged attacks, and this is one of those times. Just continue pillaging. All of this gold will be used for more military troops, more power, more strength, more everything. Pillage. Pillage is all a story of pillage. It always is. Always has been. It's feudalism. Gives me the feudal contract card. It's beautiful. And the 5 production, I'd rather take 15 gold per ton. I never thought I'd be in that situation, yet here we are. And actually, I'm going to put serfdom in instead of natural philosophy until... Actually, no, we're going to get more campuses. Let me just double check on the adjacency of these. +1 and 0. Okay, yeah, that was a mistake. I should have moved over to feudal contract. Serfdom, never mind. As long as the raid card is in, which it is, that's the main thing. Now we're going to go to monarchy, get that government as quickly as we can. We need all the policy cards we're going to get, and oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. Just keep giving me every pillage you can. Keep attacking the city. I know these are weak attacks, but they build up. They always build up. Something tells me that I need warlords thrown in this game. We're going to get this in as quick as we can. And in order to take France on, I think we're going to need another trebuchet as fast as we can get. So I'm going to just start using my pillaged gold to make more units, especially in a city with an Ooredoo. It gets more combat bonus. Or sorry, more experience from the combat. You know what I mean by now. You've been watching us around for a long time, dear audience. You know how to translate my random ramblings. You know me better than I do. Victor, 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 Victor. I need you in. I need you getting me troops that are fine and leveled and wonderful. Ooh, PP Kisses. Always love that name. Very strong Cree cities. I tell you now, we're expecting a final boss in the Cree. They're going to be so powerful. Another piece of culture. I probably should have got 2 markets by now. It would mean that I was building commercial hubs and I'd have more trade routes to throw out. Maybe I'm too good for trade routes, you know? Maybe we don't need that sort of assistance. We've got this covered. We're just grinding experience from repeated attacks upon a city center. That's unlocked the siege tower. That's going to be very handy for all the medieval walls we're probably going to come across in our fighting. Next up, we're going to go shipbuilding, and I think this is going to be the Corsair, which we want to unlock to get a horseman upgrade. We're merely passing by. Look, I'm attacking everyone around you, Cree. How is that so difficult to imagine? Starting up quite a nice little industrial zone aqueduct setup with my main cities as well. Should be able to throw a couple more cities into the floodplains around there to make that better. It's the industry to fuel the war later. That's what we need to focus on. The trebuchet has made its way to the party, and that's significantly more damage than my poor Kashigs have been doing. They're all leveling up now. More and more and more and more. Keep attacking. Keep attacking. Cities under siege. I think everything around here is pillage that I could possibly want to pillage, so now I just load in the attacks. We might as well. Next turn we'll have it. We'll have it done. I'm gonna leave myself a make trade route little marker on this city just to remind me not to take that city. If I do, we take effectively a +6 penalty loss, a -6. I guess it would be -3 because we're going into Catherine having the advantage at that point and her advantage isn't doubled, but still, we don't want to do that. We want to maintain this for as long as we can. In fact, actually, we really want printing. Let's unlock printing as soon as we can. That'll be effectively worth +6 for us. I'm going to prioritize that my trebuchets get the extra experience from the end of this fight because I'd love them to get to shells as soon as possible. And you can see the city is now ready to go. Depredation horsemen. Oh, that's going to be very useful once that's a Corsair. And Kagwana, it's mine. Welcome to the Empire. Welcome to your new overlord, Dad Tato. Cree, Palmaker's still in this city, apparently. I'm sure that he'll disappear eventually once he realizes how beautifully held that city is. Do we wait before we go in on France? Or do we just assume that this is as good a time as any? I don't think there's any harm in just attacking ASAP, so we're just going to start positioning my troops around now, threateningly. I'm going to ignore you, France. Just pressing escape on my keyboard because it lets me get around this particular dialogue. Yes, I would like to go to war with you, but I would really like to join in with Poundmaker's War. You'll give me a whole 1 gold. Just see what I would get if I went to war with you via Poundmaker. It would be amazing. I'm also going to move the Archer of El truant into the encampment so that when I use some gold to buy in a trebuchet, it spawns in the city center rather than in the encampment. And now I can attack that encampment manually. But I should have calculated this correctly enough to make sure that all 3 of my trebuchets can actually attack this encampment from here. We're going to do this methodically. We're going to do this slowly. This is Deity ++. We cannot afford to rush a combat like this. We have to be very careful about how we proceed. Don't throw my units in to die. Move them in slowly, carefully, gently. Make sure this is a sustainable level of attack. Make sure this builder knows that the only thing it's ever going to be doing for about 5 years is fixing the carnage that I left after this war. Don't, again, worry about it. It was all like that when I found it. Everything in this city was black and covered in ash and smoking. I honestly, Dad Tato, honestly, Kree is full of wonders. Oh my lord. This is, the promised land. Promised land, Etamananki, Kree. Don't be like that. Don't be so wonderful and tasty. You can see that neither me nor France has a diplomatic visibility bonus, so no one has an intelligence bonus at the moment. That's good, since I'm not losing combat, but it means I'm effectively +6 down because of France's ability of all the people to be next to. Very unfortunate that we got Black Queen Catherine, but never mind. So I only took 21 damage from my man-at-arms there. They hit through that ranged attack very, very well. That's very, very handy. And you can see I've now got 4 trebuchets, and they are all very movable, all lined up to do a decent chunk of damage. And my Kashigs can now come in with a damaged encampment, do some decent raiding. I can get the knight to swoop in and get the kill. Right, great. Now we can come in against the city itself, start to move some units around to pillage. In you come, horsemen. This city is now much more vulnerable. It's ready to be picked clean of everything decent. And in the meantime, I don't think there's any harm in leaving a lovely, delicious trading post in Poundmaker's lands. I'm sure that's a fine thing, right? Yeah, let's leave that there. Delicious. Look at the score difference between me and Kree, by the way. I'm on 289. Kree's on 545. Empire of 167. 100 points of wonder. Double my era score. Kree, stop being so good. You're beginning to worry me. Okay, now that we have demolished the walls, we can spend a couple of turns just making sure that 2 trebuchets have shells, which is lovely. Now we can pull all of our other trebuchets into the land around, start flanking around the city, moving all of my units in, and we can start peppering the city with arrows. Death by 1,000 cuts, or in this particular case, 7 million cuts. Victor has garrison command for the extra loyalty, but also embrasure. Now, as I raid and pillage things, I can get units in that start with promotion, as long as I buy them in a Victor city, which is really awesome. And you can see we've actually now finished the Warlord's Throne. So all of my cities now have a beautiful bonus 20% production. And hopefully that will never go away. That's going to be pretty much a permanent thing in this playthrough. My scouting horseman, mysteriously, has made its way back into French lands. And oh look, you're building a university for me? That's very kind of you. Coupe denounces me. I wonder why. Look, I'm doing lovely things in these cities. Look at this. Helicopter Kicker and Cartesian are being beautiful governors. These cities have never been thriving more. +4 industrial zone has been finished in my capital. Now that means we've got some really good production here, and I can start to throw more troops out, which is wonderful. More of our Kashigs, please. Pillage for castles. Now I've got the Corsa. There's education. Pillage for that as well. Oh, pillage. It sustains the greatest of empires at all times. All you need is a diet of true pillage. Once a day, for several weeks, you'll be feeling as right as rain. The Kashigs continue their attack. Oh, this is really starting to look good for me. Lake Retba? There's a lot of natural wonders on this continent. I shall claim them all. Kilimanjaro is by far the best. There's education. And there's printing. That's worth +6 combat strength for me. We shall take it as soon as we can. Trebuchet fires. And another one. Fires. The walls are down. Oh. Oh well now. Ain't that something? Just get a couple of ranged attacks in there and run the knight in to claim the city of Rouen. Another one joins me. They must all join. They all will join eventually. Genghis is inevitable. Genghis is certainty. Genghis is love. Probably not the last one, but everything else was fairly accurate. Next up, Paris. We're going to take out this encampment first and then march in on the city whilst my horsemen run in and do some pillage. What religion is being given to me right now? This is Kree's religion. It has choral music. Not the one I want. You know the one I want. That's right. Feed the world. My addiction must be satisfied. It's a scratch that only Feed the World can provide. Pillage. And then another pillage. Printing is very, very rapidly arriving now. Might just go after some of these campuses and make sure that we can get it as fast as we can. How's Kree doing? Minus 46. Do I want to renew my friendship with Kree, or do I just expect to be going to war with them next? I'm gonna let this friendship expire, and let's do a tiny bit of trading first, just to make sure that anything we can trade with Kree is traded. I'm not going to be trading Nighter to them. No, I think that's fine. We need to get printing ASAP. So, one pillage down to the south, one pillage up in the north. There is printing. Now, hopefully, if I've calculated this and my +1 level of diplomatic visibility on all other civilizations correctly, if I hover over any combat, I should now see, yes, +6 intel on opponents' movements. Oh, that's like a bonus great general on all attacks. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Move the trebuchets in one by one. Let's take out this encampment as a priority. Just means one less ranged attack, and it means we can now pillage without having to worry about any of our units being killed. Meanwhile, the backline cities, they are just still producing more and more units, just making use of feudal contract and the warlord's throne. Never stop. Keep building for me. This 539 military strength used to be about 600, but we've taken a little bit of a pummeling. We haven't lost any units, but I can't afford to let too many die. Military emergency. We might find actually that Kree joins in with this. No, Coupe does though. So we should expect Coupe to appear from the other side of the ocean at some point. Let's start building some walls up in both of these cities just to be certain. A lot of luxuries I just lost there. I think I was trading for quite a few of them. Never mind. Kree, do you want to just continue being my ally? No? No. Worth a try. Sometimes Kree is one of these people, like one of these allies that just never abandons you no matter what you do. Alas, not today. Even Kree understands that Earth has gone too far. Trebuchets are all just about in range now, ready to go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that city will fall quickly, especially if we maintain this beautiful siege. Oh, I didn't rename Ruin. I do apologize. I wonder why the city was so rebellious. Perkins D, please, can you please show this city what good governance looks like? I'm desperate. There we go. There's the Kree denunciation. They're on 50 military strength. They have really thrown all of their units into this French war. I don't mind that at all. Oh, I keep losing random horsemen on pillaging trips. I keep getting too brazen with them. I need more horses or Kashigs or whatever. More pillaging units. They're the only ones that are dying, to be fair. Everything else is having a lot more luck in this war. Watch this trebuchet run though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks, and Paris is knocked down. But can it get up again? You're never going to keep it down. Takes a whiskey Kashig. It takes a cider Kashig. I'm not going to start that. Come on. Ugh, dear oh dear. Paris is taken. Sure, it's all on fire and worthless, but hey, it resets my 5-turn timer on the warlord's throne. Name me something more romantic than that as a concept. All you mean to me, city, is the fact that you reset the counter on warlord's throne. Never think that you're anything more to me. Never. Oh no. This city, the one I have the trading post with, is going to fall in 5 turns. Please, put a governor in this city. If France was clever, they would let that city flip. That would do more damage to this war invasion than losing half my army, I tell you. Sean Kelly grows and becomes just the finest of capitals. 10 population. You can do so much more. I believe in you. Sort of belief where I'm just going to abandon you for ages and then come back and be like, why haven't you changed? And you'll be like, you haven't given me any resources. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Metal casting. All right, now it gives me bombards. Do like the idea of bombards. I'm very, very intrigued by the idea of bombards. Got plenty of Knights are coming in per turn, so is there any harm in going for gunpowder? I don't think there is, you know. Well, I like the fact that I've actually jumped up to 3rd in tech, just purely because of the amount of campuses France has put down. It's a lot of pillage, like this, for example. Yes, perfect. France did put a governor in. Okay, we've now got an extra turn. Keep that city locked down, please. Oh, hello, it's Coupe. Oh, they're counter-pillaging me. No, my one weakness, my own tactics. Don't use my own tactics against me. How dare you? Have I unlocked mercenaries yet? No, I haven't. I was wondering whether or not I could get away with the half-price upgrade card. One thing I need to make sure is if I go to a Renaissance-era bombard unit, does any of my great generals apply to a Renaissance unit? Or am I going to just actually weaken my troops a little bit here? Yes, I have El Cid. So I could, in theory, spend a bit of gold here, upgrading to 2 trebuchets on my shells, which of course translates to the 2 trebuchets that have shells have now been upgraded to bombards. You get what I mean. mean. Okay, a galley rush on helicopter kicker. You are building walls, but you may need to do it a little bit faster. Anyway, monarchy time. Righty-ho. Conscription, I very much need in my government. Feudal contract is good. Raid is good. Oligarchic legacy, I don't really need because I don't have many straight-up melee troops. What I could use, though, is chivalry. And after that, diplomatic league. I know I haven't used all of my envoys at the moment, but I'm just waiting. If I find a military city-state that works really well, like Akkad, Kabul, Valletta, I will suddenly be a very, very different Ursa. I'll be very intrigued, very keen to get involved in that. And there you go, helicopter kicker now has the walls and it can fire back. You missed your opportunity, Coupe. Push my units through this horrible, horrible pass. Everyone is very, very much on top of each other here. Can move the units round. I moved El Cid round, though. I shouldn't have done that. El Cid was the one that was working my bombards. It's because it was in an escort formation. Don't do that. Don't leave your units accidentally on escort. I can fight this trebuchet over the hill then. Okay, Cahokia's got about 2-3 mines and a double commercial hub pillage for me, so that's beautiful. Don't stand out in the open, Mr. Man-at-Arms. Oh no, that's where my Kashigs are. They don't like units standing out in the open. They find it personally offensive that anyone would do that, ever. Anyway, the bombards, 76 strength on Leon. Oh, that's a big hit. That's a big hit. It's the sort of hit that wins us games. This is the sort of pillage that wins me games as well. I was on just 3 turns worth of gold. Yep, running a bit of a deficit here. Don't worry, deficit spending is what I do best when I'm at war. That's how Ursa runs. Move the siege units round. There we go. 1, 2, and nope, that's not a valid tile apparently. Is this a hill? It is a hill. How dare you be a hill? Oh, you made me waste some valuable time there. Never mind. I reckon Leon will fall next turn. Pretty sure it'll fall next turn. 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike. Now, can I get a mobile unit in? Oh, it might be tough. Didn't leave myself a valid route through here. Fine. The knight is going to have to just seal off the city and we'll take it next turn, and I'll make sure I move my units around just to give them more targets to fight and attack. No, don't flip. I don't want you, city. I don't want you. You're going to be a terrific combat penalty for me, and I don't want to have to deal with that. There we go. Lyon has been taken. The loyalty is not great, but Victor is here for this very reason. Need to hand over some cities now I know they're secure. It's Bob blah blah and Rad Bickley. I hope you both speak French. There's a little bit of integration to do in these cities, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, to Ambrose. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy Zursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Mr. Awesome, Frankincense Battlezord, Sleepy Lab, Bookaluk 79, Bob Loblaw, Davalex, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Daddy Bear Todd. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!